Pompey Sound, your hourly update from Fratton Park, sponsored by Piglet's Pantry, the home of award-winning and handmade food on the South Coast.
Sports journalist and Pompey fan Sam Stone reacts to the accusation that things are too quiet at Fratton Park.
I think when you say quiet, it's quite, it's a word where people get a bit worried. You see some of the other clubs coming up and doing all their business early, but I've actually, considering we've only made 2 signings, I feel pretty confident and comfortable with where Pompey are at. There's clearly a desire to get the right player at the right price and not overspend or get the wrong player in and rush. And I like that. And I like the way that we do that. And it's worked. It's worked for us previously. I think you're going to get fans, and that there's plenty of them online that are they just want signings through the door. And that's obviously, we're football fans. We want to have something to talk about, but getting the wrong player through the door is, early is far worse than getting the right one through potentially when the season started. So I'm relatively comfortable where Pompey are at. I'm confident in Hughes and Massinho and the guys behind the scenes at the club that they're getting they're closing on the right players and the right targets. And also as well, we had, I think it was 2 seasons ago when Massinho first took over, we made a load of signings early on, and but we had to do that because the squad needed a rebirth, if you like. It needed a big turnaround. We went and won the league that season after. Last season, obviously, again, it needed a little bit more quality and a few more numbers and names involved because we are back in the Championship. We needed to improve. This season, I think there's a very solid base, and I think the players that have not come back, the players that are injured, they're going to be like new signings. So I think we need just to add real quality, not numbers, as the transfer window heads to its conclusion.
And you can hear the whole of Sam's piece across the output on Pompey Sound. And of course, Sam, as always, is spot on. We want the right players, not a big number. We want to wait until the right players are available, and then we go get them. We don't want to bring players in just because there's an argument, which is, it's an argument, but it's not a strong argument, that the longer you have them in training, the easier it is to get them to be playing the way, thinking the way, using the patterns on and off the ball that John Massinho wants. The easier it is to get them to do that because they've had that much longer training with the rest of the squad. It is an argument, but the argument which easily overshadows it is the need to get the right players. So things are quiet because Pompey are running the show. They are running their negotiations. They're using all the facilities that are at their disposal to get things right. And at the moment, time is on our side. Remember, there's another so the season starts in 2 weeks. There's another 6 weeks of this transfer window, something like.
Inside Football have filed a piece about the Dane who Pompey were keen on before they signed the Hungarian. It goes. Norwich City have stepped up their pursuit of Portsmouth-linked Pelle Mattsson, but it is still a case of as you were from the Canaries' end. Pompey so far have brought in only 2 players in the ongoing transfer window, in the shape of John Swift and Adrian Segacic. John Massinho, though, will expect further backing from the club chiefs after he kept them comfortably safe in the Championship. They have more targets on their radar, as they want to strengthen the defensive midfield position ahead of a long season. Danish Superliga side Silkeborg's 23-year-old Mattsson is a player Portsmouth like, but he has no shortage of suitors from fellow Championship clubs. Norwich City have emerged as the most interested team in the Dane, but they had an offer rejected for him this month. However, they are in no mood to give up, as according to Danish outlet Tipsbladet, the Canaries have now increased their offer. It has been suggested that the Carrow Road outfit have made an offer worth €3 million for Mattsson, which is close to Silkeborg's valuation of him. They have included performance bonuses for the Dane, and now the deal is believed to be very close, though according to journalist Connor Southwell, from the Norwich end it remains as you were.
So, is it oversimplifying things to suggest that for us it was either Mattsson or Kosznovszki? Kosznovszki available to us for about 1 point something. Not sure if that's millions or euros. There is a slight difference these days. Certainly €3 million not being enough for Mattson, as far as his club are concerned. Silkeborg probably priced him out for us, because €3 million would have to be 3.5 or 4 for them to agree to him going. That's got to be over £3 million, and that we're not spending that kind of money. Not at the moment. We don't need to. The talent's out there. We're good at recruiting it. We're good at looking after the pennies, and so the pounds look after themselves. So we're not spending £3.5 million on somebody who, of course, could turn out not to be twice as good as Kosznowski. That's what the price tags suggest. But we know football life, people don't work out quite like that. In tennis, you could get a player ranked 56 playing someone who's ranked 32, and you assume the guy ranked 32 is going to win every time. It simply doesn't happen. There are all sorts of human factors that are involved in the ultimate performance, in what happens on the pitch or on the court. So have we got the best deal? We'll have to wait and see whether Norwich get a deal. The last time we heard, they were turning their attention to somebody else, a Slovakian, I think, to fill the hole that they think they've got in midfield. They're spending a lot of money, and their squad is filling up with players who are expensive compared to the people that we're buying, not necessarily particularly better. They certainly aren't proven to be better. So we're spending wisely, we're recruiting well. That's all we need to know. There will be further additions to the squad. We haven't begun to take in loan players. We will take in loan players. We know we're going to take in loan players. We've said, I think, exactly that. We didn't mince our words. The loan system. We'd like to become self-sufficient and just have squads of our own players that we own. But whilst the loan system is there and we play it very well, look at our recent track record. We're getting better and better. Big clubs are starting to trust us, Pompey, John Messino to be precise, more and more and more to do a good job with the players that they lend us. So we can expect perhaps one more signing, but we can expect possibly 3, 4, 5 loan players coming from the big guns. When the big guns have decided which of their young superstars in the making are going to be available, that's when hopefully Pompey can cherry pick.
Saints supporters must meet new criteria to purchase tickets for the fixture against Portsmouth, which will go on sale on Wednesday, July 30th. Saints have put several measures in place to ensure tickets for the game, set to take place at 12 p.m. on Sunday, September 14th, go to Saints supporters. The club are expecting huge demand for tickets to what will be Southampton's first league meeting with Pompey since the 2011-12 campaign. To qualify for the first window of sales, which starts at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, July 30th, supporters must be a Saints member for the 2025-26 season, which costs £30 for adults and £20 for juniors. Have purchased at least one match ticket between the 2020-21 and 2024-25 seasons. Have purchased one or more tickets to a game during the current 2025-26 campaign. The club released details that tickets are strictly limited to one per member, and transferring tickets via the Saints app will be restricted. Saints have also warned that anyone unauthorized found selling on their tickets could face a stadium ban, and action will be taken against them. Random checks will be carried out at the turnstiles to combat ticket transferring and ensure the ticket holder matches the ID of the person entering. To allow more supporters to qualify for the first window, Saints have brought forward the ticket purchase windows for 3 home matches this season.
Right, well, this sounds rather meticulous, if not a little zealous of Southampton. And I'll tell you why I think that is, why they're doing everything that they're doing. It is because they don't want to be on a charge of not policing this fixture well enough. If there is trouble, and let's hope there isn't, and confrontation, verbal confrontation, chanting, singing is part of the fun of the game. It mustn't spill over into anything worse than that. And let Pompey, not any Pompey fan be responsible for any such thing. Otherwise, that could get the club in trouble. But the club who is most under scrutiny on this first of the 2 derby fixtures that we've got this season will obviously be St Mary's. And they don't want any incidents in the stadium where Pompey fans got in amongst the Southampton fans, the home fans, and it became obvious to the Saints fans that there were Pompey fans in amongst them, and that could very easily see a tension begin to develop, and that could develop into something worse, and we don't want that. They don't want trouble. They don't want people to get hurt. They want everybody to go home safe and sound. And they also, and this is a bit like some companies that manufacture packets of nuts, because of the allergy thing, put on the packet, this product may contain nuts. You know, it's a packet of nuts. It's what we always say, they're covering themselves. And I think there's an element of that about the precautions that Southampton have been very public about. 6 weeks away from the actual fixture. They want to be seen to be doing everything that they possibly can to ensure that if there is a problem amongst the crowd on match day, it's not their fault. And in a sense, that's all well and good. That's 100%. They want to do all the right things to avoid trouble, and they want to be seen to be doing all the right things in order to avoid trouble. And it is going to be a studiously, scrupulously run affair, because elsewhere we're reading about enormous road closures and some kind of traffic system which is very rare, blind alleys or something, because they don't want fans on their way from the station to the ground or from the ground back to the station to be exposed to the affection of any of the home fans, put it like that. So they're going the extra mile. And like I say, let's hope it's a great game of football. Let's hope that we win significantly. Let's hope that there's no trouble, of course, that there's no trouble. But the healthy rivalry is the lifeblood of football. It's the reason why every Southampton versus Pompey game will be televised, because it is a delicious... It's almost like a sibling rivalry, but running much deeper. So, Southampton have put an awful lot of procedures into place in order to ensure, to the best of their ability, that there is no trouble at the Derby game. And you can bet your bottom dollar, though. You can actually bet your very bottommost dollar. The bottommost dollar that you've ever owned in your bottommost. That some fans are looking at ways of getting around it. They probably won't, and they won't be able to if they try, but you do. You do. The only time I've ever been tempted to nick a car, obviously I didn't, but it crossed my mind to when I saw this bloke taking such precautions. He actually had a wheel, what do you call those things? A Denver boot. You can buy them for your own car, right? And he fitted one of those. I was watching him. It was in a public car park. I don't know if he was leaving it overnight. He put a Denver boot on the front wheel. Then he had do you remember crook locks, those things that lock the steering wheel with the accelerator pedal? And then he locked all the doors manually. This was a while ago. And you had to do that with the key. And he went round all the doors, locking them and then checking them. And then he looked through the window at his crook lock to make sure that was there. And he gave his Denver boot a wiggle. It was only an A40. It was, give it another 20 years, it would have been a collector's item, but it wasn't. It was a rust bucket. And it made you want to teach him a lesson by proving that his suspicion that you are a car thief was semi-well-founded, and you beat him. Brings out the competitor in you, that sort of thing. And we've got a competitive relationship with Southampton. But they don't want any trouble, we don't want any trouble, and they want to be seen to be preventing, or have tried to prevent, any possible trouble. So, only in this sphere, good luck to them.